Welcome to the True Love Secrets Revealed Summit. I am so excited to introduce you today. You may know her, everybody knows her, but maybe for the random person that don't know her, this woman is a legend. She is an expert on feminine energy and relationships, and she has been helping women for over a decade now to create and keep true love, to help women to come back from a bad breakup, and just all things love. She is fantastic. I cannot say how happy I am to have her and that she's going to be sharing her wisdom with you, ladies. Thank you, Adrienne.
Well, thank you so much for that warm welcome. I'm so excited to be here and be part of your audience and share some wisdom with all of the women out there, all the single ladies or the coupled ladies. I'm here to just really get you into the right place to attract and keep a loving, long-lasting relationship.
Yes, let's go. So, Adrienne, I'm going to start with a kind of a general question because you are really, really talented at sharing your wisdom. But I would like to give some context on what you are going to be talking today. So, why some women have, it seems like it's easier for them to find and keep good love, juicy love with a man, and some others like me in the past and you, according to your story, struggle and have all these issues on our quest to finding love. What are the mindsets and the frustrations that women face?
Well, first off, if you're listening to this interview and you've been drawn to your work or my work, there's a good chance you're what I call a powerful dynamite woman. And I do believe that all women are powerful dynamite women, but some women are naturally more drawn to and more comfortable with letting a man lead. I think this has a lot to do with either having a good parent, like mother-father dynamic in your household, or you didn't have that great of a dad, or you had a very strong, overbearing mother and a very passive father. And I think we learn those characteristics. In psychology as children, we really identify with the more spunky of parents, the parent that is going to give us the best chances for survival. And so a lot of women become powerful dynamite women. We are strong, we are smart, we can do it ourselves. And then in a relationship with a man, we take those same qualities and we expect it to have the same results, and it just doesn't. So some women, I think, are just more comfortable with letting a man lead, knowing what they feel in their body, identifying with their feelings. I grew up, with girlfriends and friends in my life who would cry at movies, cry at commercials, and be able to talk about their feelings in a way that I just couldn't relate. And even my sister, I remember her saying, "You're so icy and you're so hard." And I'm like, well, this is how I am. I'm very logical, I'm very rational, and I'm very strong. Well, you can still be all of these wonderful, logical, rational ways. But in your relationship, it is about softening, being more vulnerable, allowing the man to lead, allowing to lean back and let things unfold, and to not be his parent or his therapist. That's a big one that I teach.
Oh my God, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. I love it. Yes, having a different mindset for relationships and for work, or maybe athleticism or other hobbies that we may have that are more masculine. That's great. And so what are the main or a few different mindsets that women will benefit from embodying or embracing when it comes to dating and relationship?
Yes. So we've all heard that saying or that quote about, that which you resist persists.
Right.
And that means that if you are in a particular mindset, you're going to continue to be in that mindset until you decide to change, until you decide to take a very bold step in a new direction. And that was the case for myself and a lot of my other clients, is that I really reached a breaking point where I needed to do something different. But I thought that feminine energy meant being very passive, not being strong, and just letting a man dominate me. And that to me felt very fearful. So you can see already I had a very fearful mindset towards masculine energy men. But yet I was ending up with feminine energy men, and I would like them for a while, but then the sex would feel bland, or they would just be, they had no ambition, it seemed like, or they just followed me around like a puppy dog, and it just turned me off. But so I was drawn to masculine energy men. They felt scary to me. So it was really about how can we begin to change your mindset to get comfortable with some feminine energy qualities and traits that will invite the right type of man your way. So instead of jumping all in at once, I always suggest just starting with 1 or 2 tools that I teach you and build upon those. We all know about habit stacking and things like this. One of the first things I suggest is when you go to open your dating app and it's time to get out there and mingle or socialize and find someone, instead of putting a lot of pressure on yourself, like, oh God, I'm going to have a bunch of losers when I open my app. Where's your energy at when you open your dating app? Or where's your energy at when you go out and you are going to perchance meet a nice guy that night? What are you looking like? What are you dressing like? Recently, I was at a venue and girl after girl after girl, and I understand they were going out clubbing and things like this, but they were dressed in such a way that I had no doubts they would attract a guy. I had no doubts about that. But then after you attract him, who are you? Where's your energy at? So look at your dating app, get your energy and your vibe that just, I'm open, I'm curious, this is going to be a great experience. I'm going to meet someone wonderful. I'm going to meet lots of wonderful men. See if you can't get your energy into a good place, because so often we're in that sympathetic nervous system state. We're anxious, we're tense, we're scared, we're worried, we're doubting ourselves. And that is where we sabotage that vibe we put off, that feminine energy vibe that's really going to call forth the right man into your life.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. I love what you said, because I hear it so often when I mention feminine energy. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to be weak. I don't want to be seen as weak. So what you said is so on point. It's about healing our relationship with certain beliefs that we have, that sometimes we don't even know we have them. Sometimes they're facts that we carry around and we never even gave them a second thought. It's so amazing. It's amazing that.
And I've worked with women in their, not to interrupt, I've worked with women in their 70s, their 60s, their 70s, and they're saying, I'm just now discovering this.
How wonderful.
Yeah. And you're right. We're not really taught it. This is never explained to us. We certainly, most of us from our parents don't learn the best relationship habits. Recently, I think it was on Reddit, I had a little bit of a hater come forward, and she said, oh, Adrienne doesn't understand feminine energy. This is all about gender. This is all about these outdated topics that don't apply anymore. And the reality of this is that I've worked with, homosexual gay couples before, because one of the individuals is either going to be stronger in their masculine energy, pursuing, and the other one receiving. When you have 2 pursuing, there's no polarity there. You have 2 energy forces pursuing each other, 2 energy sources doing for each other. That doesn't mean you don't ever do for your partner. I don't occasionally pursue my husband, and it's fun. But this is about your resting energy state and your place where you can receive and feel comfortable being in your feminine energy if you want a masculine energy partner. You know, you might want a masculine energy partner who also has some wonderful feminine energy qualities. You know, my husband is very caring about our pets and very nurturing. You might think that's a feminine energy quality, but it's really masculine energy wants to take care of the tribe, the group, the family. It wants to guard us all. So much of this is perspective and mindset, which is exactly what we're saying here today. Yeah.
I know. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Adrienne. And thank you for sharing about your personal relationship. You know, it's always good to hear about you, like, you know, how you handle your relationships and all that. I know the audience will love that. And I know your husband is an artist, so that is also, or he was an artist. I don't know. I have stalked the hell out of you all these years, so I know
So
about you a lot.
I was with a man I called the artist who dumped me and inside of me. So that's that story.
Right.
And it was what I built a huge amount of foundation of my work on, is that these men come into our lives. They can love bomb us. It can be so wonderful in the first 3 months.
Right.
And then after 3 months, this is when it gets real, really after month 6. And so something that I teach you in Fem Tools for Dating is something called the slow burn, where you just pace this relationship much more slowly so that you're not over investing. You're not going all in very quickly. And most importantly, you're jumping off place. And your jumping off place is where you're going into this, what emotional state you're at, where you're currently existing in your body and in this world before you enter that relationship. So a lot of these guys who love bomb us and come into our lives and they love us and leave us picking up the pieces, we usually meet them right after a breakup or right after a divorce. I cannot count the number of women who they just are going through a divorce. They meet a guy. Oh, it's wonderful. They're traveling. They're having all these great experiences. And then he's just gone. Right. And so that's where your energy's at. It's in this very vague, strange place. That doesn't mean don't date. Get out there and date, quantum date, as I call it. But this is about getting invested and having an instant relationship with someone. I really encourage a person, give a guy about 3 months before you even become exclusive, so that you can really, really get to know him. And I also encourage waiting at least a year before you marry someone, so that you can see all the sides of their personality and really be for certain that this is who you want to be with. So when you go with that tried and true method of I just date one guy at a time, you know, I met a guy, he's great, I'm going to be with him. That exclusivity really cancels out any other opportunities of another man entering your life. There is a time to be exclusive, but there's also a time to quantum date, explore your options, keep all of your options open until there's an offer on the table and someone wants to be exclusive with you, because these guys will want to be exclusive really quickly, right? Yes. And you have to, you know, at around that 3 or 4 month mark, you know, it never fails in my group. At least several times a week, I have someone saying, I'm dating a guy. It's a wonderful guy. It's been about 3 months. He's starting to back away now. Right. And I'm like, well, this is what's happening. You went all in very quickly. Mm-hmm.
I love it. And I love that you mentioned quantum dating, your signature. And that goes along with something that I see a lot, and is yes, I mean, the slow dating, the slow burn, going slow, taking about 3 months. All that makes sense at a logical level, but I see a ton of women struggling with that. They really struggle. And these are not women that are not coachable. These are women that are really, really, like you say, dynamic women, that they are both fit into the coaching, and they are really, really listening and changing mindsets. But they do struggle so much dating several guys and taking it slow. Do you have, in your vast experience of coaching thousands of women, any gem, something to give these women to help them take it slow for the first 3-4 months?
Oh, absolutely. So it's a little bit like American Idol or these other television shows where the person gets on stage and they audition.
Yes.
So when a man is dating you, it is an audition. It is not an audition in I get to lean back and you just show me how much you can worship me until, for X number of months. It's an audition where I'm just getting to know you and I'm going to give it 3 months to get to know you in that process. So that's one part of it. It's just an audition. It's like sending your resume out. Maybe someone will answer it. Maybe someone won't. That's how you want to look at dating. It's a big maybe. No one owes anyone anything. So right there, you can kind of emotionally detach from outcomes. The second part is try to have fun. Try to look at these dates as, oh yeah, I'm going out with this guy and this is fun. We're going here. I'm experiencing this. I'm learning about him. I'm using him for practice about how to speak about my feelings, how to receive. I'm learning about working in harmony with him. I had a client recently on about the 4th or 5th date with a man. His truck broke down on their way out to a date. And just how she was able to shine the flashlight for him while he's trying to figure. Yeah. And, he's trying to figure out what's wrong with his battery and things like this. And it was just that wonderful harmony that we're looking for. We're not looking for like this balance. We're looking for harmony. So have fun. Go at quantum dating in terms of, this is just an audition. And then the last one, be super curious. Be very curious what is out there for you, what it might look like, what package it might show up in. I teach you to be really open to dating a new type of man because I had my parameters in my dating app. I had a certain age range. I had a certain height. I liked darker guys, darker hair, darker olive to darker complexions. And then I see this inbox, in my trash. I see a message in my trash. It turned out to be the man I ended up marrying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he was, excuse me, he was everything that I wasn't looking for. And I opened up his email and it was so charming and endearing and sincere. I was like, okay, I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to email him back and just see where this goes. And here I am, happily married lady.
Oh, well, congratulations. And that's awesome. That's a great story. That is a fantastic story.
I'm very narrow, like you're saying. And it's not, and we're not talking about core requirements. We're not talking about your core values.
Right.
You want your core values to be in place. If there's one thing I've found out is that men will actually end up aligning with your core values. They may not at first. You might want a guy who goes to church every Sunday and makes 6 figures and, has a particular type of body or something. Well, those are some good values to have, but what are your core values in terms of how you want to feel with your partner? Right. And love languages. I'm a person who is big into quality time. I love lots of attention. I like to be worshiped. I like to have a best friend somewhere near me at all times. I'm into quality time. You want to find someone who gets what you need. My first husband was very aloof. He was very distant. He was a workaholic. I was miserable. I needed that quality time. So you can begin to find those attributes you want in a person and let the package be able to be a little more liquid, a little more fluid about what he may look like, even his height, his hair color, his eye color, whether he has hair or not. Because when a man falls in love with you and the two of you can begin connecting, those values will really sync up and the attraction will grow. The attraction grows based on how he treats you more than how he looks to you. Right. It will be on how he treats you. You will begin to fall in love more and more with how a man treats you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you really want to have in a relationship? Because
Right.
part of this is, again, that mindset. I'm going to invest my time. I'm going to have shorter dates, and I'm going to see who sticks around and who doesn't, and who I gel with and who I like. Sometimes we really don't gel with a man and like him until about the 4th or 5th date.
Right.
So the man who became my husband, first date I went on with him, it was great. Second date was really great. We spent most of the day together. And after that, I was leaving for a month. I was going out of town for a month. I didn't see him again. But then when I came back home, he kept coming over and helping me walk my dogs. And he helped me fix a window, and he's bringing over Thai food. And I fell in love with this guy because he was creating what I wanted to have in my life. He was embodying it. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm sorry you lost your client, and for her sake, but yeah, but you really want to attract, clients who believe in that this is not a deposition on the first date. I had a client that was big into vetting men. She goes, I have to vet him. I have to find out how much he makes and where he went to school and all these things. Look, I have a client I've talked about many times. She works for Elon Musk. She's one of his top scientists there. She dates a man who is a delivery driver.
Right.
Okay. You don't have to have, again, we go back to balance versus harmony.
Right.
And we're looking for harmony in that relationship. Not so much a box that we're checking off yes or no, especially not in the early days of dating.
Oh, that was wonderful. That was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I love that you said that, because women look up to you so much as the expert. And I think it helps. It helps because when we are on a first date, second date, I won't try to repeat how you call it because it's too much. But when we are just asking these questions as if we are a lawyer, it doesn't create any emotional attraction, any attraction at all. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to make the relationship evolve, is the polarity, the bonds, the bond that we are creating.
Now, the flip side of that is a man might sit you down and do the same thing. He might be like, so you want to have kids one day?
Yeah. What about that?
Yeah. So if a guy turns the tables on you and he starts asking these questions, have fun with them. Have a good time with them. Right. I remember at one point telling a man, well, yeah, I want to be a wife one day. And he went like now, like soon. And I said, well, are you proposing? I had fun with it. And so have fun with these questions. Do you want children? You can say, well, not at this very second, but eventually, yeah. And connect with your heart. Oh, I want to be a mom. I want to have some little ones to love and cuddle and share with my parents and carry on, or, whatever her other set of questions were. Find a way to answer them with heart and feeling, especially when a man says, what do you do for a living? Talk about how it feels to be in your career, how it feels to you, what feels good about it on an emotional level. Right. And connect with him that way, instead of just going, well, I'm a CPA and I work for this firm downtown. Oh, I'm helping people, budget their money. It feels really good. Getting people who, I work with some school teachers who are now millionaires, and it feels really wonderful to help people manage their money. You just come at it from this place of heart and feeling instead of facts, just the facts.
Right. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes. Don't, sometimes we are so much on our masculine energy that we just go for facts after facts after facts. How important do you think is, you mentioned a few times, have fun. And it's great, of course, let's have fun. I love that. I'm all about having fun. But in your perspective, of course, I have my opinion on this, but in your perspective, how important it is to cultivate a good sense of humor and being witty and being like a little bit unpredictable, maybe. This is something that sometimes women, as you know, I mean, of course, everything I say, you know it because you have been doing this forever, but I like to give context. You know,
Sure.
for some women, if they are a lawyer or if they have been on the police force, you know, there are certain careers that really foster naturally, organically to be.
They zip you up emotionally.
I
Yeah.
know, and you know, it's so it's hard for them to be funny, to be witty, to be unpredictable because there is a sense of safety on that for them to be the way they are. Do you think it's important for a woman nowadays in 2024 with these dating apps that there is so much competition and they're so superficial? Or you think just be yourself, even if you don't have a sense of humor, you are going to find your man anyway?
Oh, for sure. Well, first off, start with that mindset. You know, there's how many billion people on this planet right now? There's
Wow.
enough to go around. There's
Okay.
someone for everyone. There's multiples for everyone. It's just about proximity. It's just about who is nearest to you and the frequency that you get to see them. So have that mindset of that there's not competition. There's just me and a lot of guys I'm going to get to pick from. You know, go at it with that sort of mindset. But as far as a sense of humor, and let's say you're a zipped up personality or you've gotten zipped up from experiences, or maybe your heart chakra has really just been, you've been hurt or wounded by breakups and you're very, very tight. Well, this in that area and you can't let love in. Well, this is why I teach feminine energy, is that feminine energy is about reconnecting with your inner girl. Your inner girl, there's a good chance at a certain age in life, you were a little girl. You liked to play. You know, you felt comfortable in your body. You were into textures and touching things and experiencing, and you would cry if you were sad. You would laugh when you were happy. You could tell someone how you were feeling, how your tummy felt, or if something, you got a boo-boo. And then at some point someone said, stop crying. Act like an adult. You're not acting like a little lady, or you're acting like a boy, or you got to be tough to survive in this world. A client of mine, and she was also part of my group, she said that there were some children harassing her as a child on the playground. And the mom said, if you don't go out there and stand up for yourself, I'm not letting you back in the door of the house. Yeah. So she had to survive by being very tough. And how many of us can relate to that?
Yeah.
You have to be very tough. So there's the woman in law enforcement, tough. There's the attorney, she's tough. There's so many other careers where women have to be tough. You can work at, you know, the grocery store and you can be very tough, zipped up woman. And that is to protect yourself. And this is what I help women do. They always come at me for dating advice and things like this. But what we're really going for is finding your heart, finding where you feel safe, discovering what it is you truly feel, waking up your inner girl. Your inner girl got shut down at a certain age. Most of us know about what age that maybe happened. Right. And she had to be an adult. She couldn't be a little girl anymore. So I teach you how to really get her back to a safe place, because she's always with you. She's never going to go away. But get that inner girl back to a safe place where you're the adult. I'm Adrienne. I'm the adult. That's my little girl in there. She gets to be a little girl. She's the one that comes out and plays and has fun and says the fun and sweet things that only children can. You know, we've always been around kids and they crack us up with the things they say or the way they feel about things or how they describe something. Well, that's very much alive and well in me. And so that's what I help women do, is wake up that inner girl, let her be the child again. And she's not choosing who you marry. She's not choosing who you love. You choose who you love. You choose who you do not love. Sometimes wounded inner girl is still holding on to a relationship from the past. She won't let go of this man. She wants to fix it and have him somehow in her life. That's how I was with the artist. But I had to heal her and let her know, no, you're not in charge. I'm the adult. I'm in charge. But you get to be a little girl now. You don't have to worry about who I'm marrying or who I'm dating or anything like that. You just get to have fun. So that's a big part of what I do, is getting a woman, that inner child, that playful child, we get it back to a safe place.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. What
A
a
lot of
great
fun.
way to, yes, great fun. What a great way to wrap it up. You have a gift for our audience. Would you mind sharing it?
Yeah, so I have a preview to my ebook, which is 500 Ways to Talk to a Man. It's some love scripts. I have a fan there. I'm excited for that. But it's a free ebook that kind of gives you a little glimpse into how scripting works, finding your feelings. And it's at my website, everheartcoaching.com/free gift. Just put in your name and your email, and I will send it right to you. And you can begin practicing finding that voice inside of you, finding your inner girl, finding what you really feel instead of what you think you should say, how you think you should behave, how we think we should be. The thinking world is very much the masculine world.
Thank you so much. Ladies, the link for Adrienne's gift is on the description box of this video, and also on the email I sent you. And if you can't find it for any reason, send me a message and I'll share it with you. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure. You are amazing. I love the conversation. I could keep listening to you forever, but we have to keep going with our day, unfortunately. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be part of the summit and to be part of your world. Thank you so much. I love your work too. So thanks for having me.